The Deputy Leader.
Thank you very much, sir. My question is to the Deputy Premier. Will the government consider establishing a research and equity fund for Flinders University?
Deputy Premier.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and I welcome the question. It is a reasonable one in the context of the changes which are likely to be occurring with the university sector in South Australia over the next short while. Obviously, much of the decision is in the hands of Parliament and yet to be decided, but the honourable member's question is directed towards the proposition that there be an equity fund and also a research fund dedicated to the new university, should it be created, and whether in fact there ought to be a matching or equivalent offer for the Flinders University. Now, I don't want to preclude any possible options, but would share with the Chamber some of the considerations that are currently in my mind on that matter. One is, of course, that the new university, being formed from two existing universities, is going to require a lot of effort and some reputational risk as the transition occurs, and therefore it's understandable that they are looking for some support through that process from the state that will ultimately benefit, in my view, from the new institution. Flinders University is not experiencing that, and indeed might see some advantage for a short period of time at least in being able to get on with being Flinders University while the other two institutions are experiencing the merger process. It's also the case that Flinders University has been the beneficiary of direct grants from the state government, as have the other two institutions, and we've never adopted an approach where if there's a grant that goes to one, then we need to match to the others. That's not been necessary because, in fact, it all evens out on the basis that they are three very good institutions that perform different services and activities at different times that are of value to the state. I give as an example the $4 million that went to the Line Zero, the Factory of the Future for Flinders University, as part of our election commitments, which is about facilitating smaller manufacturing companies to be able to test methodologies and production innovation in order to participate more in the defence supply chain. So that didn't then precipitate an immediate question of, well, what will the other two universities get the same? Because that's not the relationship we've had. So with those two caveats in place, that it's not of necessity that one does for one university what one does for the others, I would say on the other side how important it is that we have a strong university sector, that the ambition of the creation of a new university that will be larger, and we expect more able to attract more international students, to teach a wider range of domestic students and to undertake more research and attract that money to South Australia, that while that proposition is very important, it sits within the necessity to have a very strong higher education sector, and that means making sure that Flinders maintains its role and indeed expands it as the other grows. And so that is very much on the mind of the government, as are the points made by the Vice-Chancellor, Colin Sterling, who presented to the committee and talked about the necessity to treat students of low socioeconomic background fairly, that if they were to do a topic that was only a course that was only offered at Flinders, that they would miss out on an opportunity, whereas if they did a different subject and therefore were able to go to the new university, they would have more access to the equity scheme. So all of those factors are in play at present, and we continue to have discussions with Colin Sterling and with his Chancellor, and also look forward to whether this Parliament does indeed decide to go forward with the creation of a new university later this year.